Our healthcare heroes this week have given patients a breath of life. Respiratory therapists played an important role during the COVID-19 pandemic in helping people breathe. We caught up with Abhi Sood, the director of the respiratory therapy team at community medical centers, and 3 therapists, one from each of community's hospitals, to hear about their experiences from this past year.
I started my clinical career in the respiratory department, the same department I'm leading now. We provide care to anybody from premature babies to the end of life. Respiratory therapists are involved in every phase of life. In one word, I would say we help patients breathe better. Going through the pandemic, if anything, it reassured my passion, my commitment towards my team.
It was a respiratory virus, and it was brutal. And if you've seen some of the pictures they had, they're basically, it was like a little spike. It would attach it to the lung and just ravage the lung and make it so difficult that they were having so much trouble breathing. We would place them maybe on a high flow oxygen as first line of defense, and aerosolized medication, which was kind of scary for us because at first we didn't know how this virus was transmitted and how contagious it was, and we were fearful for ourselves and our family too, because we didn't know if we would maybe take it home to our family.
When it came with COVID, we didn't know what to do other than do what we knew to do. Walking into a room in isolation, gowned up, a lot of times you were by yourself, and communicating through a door was very difficult.
At Fresno Heart, we do a lot of recovery post cardiothoracic surgery, so we certainly use our ventilators. During the second surge is when we were kind of dispatched to the other facilities based on the need. It was just crisis modes.
It was a roller coaster. You'd come to work and you didn't know where you were going to be, you didn't know how much work you were going to get, and you really didn't know was doing all of it possible. It really wasn't. You had success stories. You had people that recovered or that responded to our therapies, and those are great stories, and you felt good about it.
It was like nothing we'd ever seen. It was just a horrible, horrible time, seeing the devastation that virus brought to patients and people. I felt like the therapists were almost running to the COVID, where other patients or people were running away from it. So that was something that we just did because that was our job.
My firsthand experience didn't come until the second surge, and I will never forget it. I entered the COVID surge ICU unit with a group of 3 other therapists at Clovis. And when the doors opened, it just took my breath away. It was one large room full of 20 patients or so, probably more. And there were intubated patients, non-intubated patients, and it looked like a battlefield hospital. And so I looked at the other therapists that I went in the room with, and they just dove right in, and I have goosebumps talking about it, but just selflessness, no fear, just went to work. I followed their lead at that moment, and I will never forget it.